Hi and welcome. Thank you all for joining us for this Haiku Demo-nar. My name's Chris Duffy. I'm Senior Director of Product Management. I'm joined here by Jeremy Klinger, one of our top sales and sales engineers here in the U.S. So again, thanks for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And we're going to take 30 minutes to walk you through a few quick topics pertaining to, quick update on Haiku, cover kind of the race to the cloud, common myths you might or might not know about the cloud, jump into a demo by Jeremy, and then finish it up with a call to action. So, I will say that um, we have today's presentation. We've exclusively invited our existing customers, and so we thought it was a great opportunity for us to take a moment and really just bring in reach out to our existing install base and provide more of an exclusive presentation and demo just for this community. And so I wanted to acknowledge a couple things here, right? So if you haven't known, if you've been with us for a while and you've kind of seen this progression and growth, here's where we are today. And if you didn't know, we're in over 78 countries, over 400 total partners, over 3,600 customers, and NPS score that holds strong at 91%, 91, excuse me. And why am I sharing this to the existing customers? It's basically to say thank you, right? This is a tribute to you. This is you're the ones that got us here. We're all in this together, as they say. But really, just a sincere thank you. We're excited to kind of continue on this journey with you, and we'll jump into this Demo-nar and just wanted to share that quick stat and say thanks. So as we walk through this. Um, and I must say also there's some attachments. If you hit the attachments, a little paper clip on the right side, there's some attachments and materials, assets that you can download at your leisure and check those out after the webinar. So simplifying the cloud data protection. So you'll kind of where have we come from and where are we now, and where are we going, a bit on where we're going as where we hope you're going with us. So on-prem cloud backups, or on-prem backups to cloud. So many of you have started with us as our enterprise cloud solution for an on-prem, either backing up on-prem or backing up to the cloud. You've enjoyed our ability to lift and shift or migrate your workloads to the cloud, and then running natively in the cloud and protecting those workloads, those applications in the cloud. And of course, there's the pesky ransomware, which is the buzzword of today, but it's much more than a buzzword. It's reality. Really, it's not about if, but when. And so if you haven't been hit, the statistics show that you probably will be. And we're really proud of our ability to provide that immutable backup, air gap mutable backup, to protect you and be that last line of defense for in case of disaster, in case of an attack. So um, I did actually have a poll question here too as well. If you bear with me for a moment, this is kind of germane to this topic. So I'm going to open up 3 quick poll questions. We'll take about 15 seconds per question. If you could just quickly answer those questions, and we'll continue right on. So where's the poll questions? Here we go. So first one, are you backing up to the public cloud today? And if you go down in the bottom right, I think there's a vote button I think you can find somewhere on there. And we'll just give it another 10 seconds and we'll move on to the next one. Apologize for not having any Jeopardy music playing in the background. You'll just have to listen to my voice. All right, a few more seconds. All right, we're going to close that one. Hopefully it's a quick yes or no. All right, perfect. That's great. We're going to go to the next one. Start a poll question. This one, are you running production workloads or applications in the public cloud today? And I bet you could guess what the third and final question is going to be. Give that a few more seconds. And the final question, which cloud? Which public cloud do you utilize most today? I know some may be leveraging multiple, but predominantly, which one are you leveraging today if you are? Either for backing up to or backing up your native workloads within the public cloud. Give that a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, excellent. All right, I really appreciate you, you taking a moment and just bearing with me and answering a few of those questions. It's really helpful for us to understand what you're doing out there today, and where kind of the direction you're heading is, so that we can be there ahead of you to provide you the ideal solution for your environment. So as we move into the public cloud, right? The statistics show you're, like we talked about, you're either there, you're not there, but you're making investments, actively making investments, or you're in the planning stages to do so. Many organizations have mandates that by a certain date that you have to have a certain amount of your applications or workloads or data residing in the public cloud. Right? There's obviously this helps enable efficiencies and scalability. I don't have to necessarily go over all the merits of the public cloud, but it does help in address these increasing investments. It does help you get to more flexibility and more agility, and the bottom line impact, of course, of saving some money. And you don't want to have to scale your IT resources at the same rate the data is scaling, because data is just growing astronomically, and it's just not affordable to continue to scale your IT resources in the same manner. So cloud is becoming obviously a huge benefit to help address that. So why are we here? We're helping you accelerate that cloud journey. Considering those investments, as I mentioned, actively moving to the cloud, or again, you're already there, and the ability to back up those workloads in the cloud. So the common myths that you may or may not know, you think, okay, I'm backing up to the cloud, I'm covered, right? It's a cloud, right? It's got my back, right? It doesn't, right? And so you're still subject to the same, um, you know, uh, data loss or data unavailability, um, um, risks that you have in your on-prem environment. So whether it's an accidental deletion or data corruption, malicious behavior, ransomware, what have you, right? Those same risks exist in the public cloud as well. Well, what's available in the public cloud? Well, there is snapshots, right? So why do you need us, right? But snapshots are expensive to maintain, requiring scripts and things of that nature. They're not application consistent, need granularity. So you're not getting the same service level that you enjoyed in your on-prem deployments when you move to the public cloud. And for those that don't enjoy the native built HYCU solution, many, when they make that shift to the public cloud, try to lift and shift their applications, or their legacy data protection solutions that were purpose built for on-prem, and trying to lift and shift those solutions into the cloud, whether they're agent based or just not architected for the cloud. And as you know, we've kind of built it from the ground up, to natively support each cloud that we support today. And if you don't have to take my word for it, look at Azure's website, AWS, Google's website. They all have what's called the shared responsibility framework. And this is TechTarget's kind of bringing together all three of those and more, their representation of the public cloud and what that shared responsibility looks like, right? And so if you look, they clearly tell you, we are not responsible for your applications. We are not responsible for your data. If you accidentally delete something, if you have a malicious attack, right? Good luck, right? You have your snapshots, best of luck to you. Have a nice day. That's essentially what's going on here, right? So they do not have you covered. So you need to take matters into your own hand, just like you do in on-prem, and provide best of breed solutions to protect your critical business assets. And I just get a kick out of, if anybody wants to place a wager on the software as a service, they claim that, you're not responsible for your applications and data, but, word of the wise. I bet you within a very short period of time, those two boxes will be that shade of blue as well, because these SaaS applications that you deploy aren't protecting your data or not providing you the same level of protection as you require for your business needs. So keep an eye on that one. That will be interesting, how quickly they correct that one in my mind. So, you know, I want to land on this one slide. It's a bit of an eye chart, but we do so much, right? And then I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy to do the demo. But we cover so much. It's hard to jam it into one slide, but as you can see, I tried. And from on-prem on the left to the three major hyperscalers on the right, and anywhere in between, really providing you that same level of experience. So if you enjoy HYCU for enterprise today on the enterprise cloud today within your data center, you'll have the same simplified experience and ability to scale and level of protection in compliance that you enjoy with whether you're starting to adopt Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, Wasabi. I mean, you name it, and we're really excited to be with you on that journey. So with that, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy and let him walk you through a demo.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, let's get a quick check to make sure I remember how to share my screen. You can see that, right?
Yep, you're good.
All right, so thanks for the intro there. And I know one of the poll questions was what cloud provider is everyone using? And it seems like most folks were on Azure today, but actually you're going to get to see a little bit different spin on how our cloud story plays out. I'm actually going to show you what Protege looks like in Google Cloud today. So hopefully everybody gets to learn a little bit of something new, which I always enjoy. But you can actually get started with this today. Go into the Azure Marketplace, Google Marketplace, AWS Marketplace, search for HYCU, and you can actually sign up for a 14-day free trial and run that to protect your cloud workloads. And what that is actually going to look like once you've gone through the subscription process is it's going to look very similar to what your on-prem environment looks like today. So you get the nice dashboard, and we can see at a high level, this is my Google subscription here, right? And now we can actually go in and look at our instances. So on your on-prem environment, this is going to be called virtual machines, but in Google Cloud, it's instances. We can also protect not only those running VMs, we can protect Google buckets as well. So that way, if you have a bucket that you're storing, say database dumps to, we can actually sweep that entire bucket and protect that across regions. So not only relying on Google's native ability to do multi-region backup with those buckets, but now you've got the ability to back that up in a separate manner and maybe protect that out to an immutable bucket in an entirely different region, right? You've got a lot of flexibility there. And same policy-driven interface that you're used to on-prem. It will look very, very similar to what you've seen and what you're using today. We have this ability to do backups. We can leverage snapshots or target-based backups. And again, we can keep those regional or multi-regional for those snapshots. Got your ability to choose how frequently you're backing your data up and how long you're retaining that for. And then obviously, my favorite feature of HYCU is we've got the copy ability. So we're going to send that copy off to, like, let's say this is going to be a mutable bucket somewhere in, say, Northern Europe. So now we've got geographic separation, and our data is stored in an immutable format. So very similar, like I said, to what you've already using on-prem. Today we can choose any target that you'd like, as long as it's inside of Google. We've got some future functionality coming that will allow you to actually go and protect these this data across cloud providers. So keep an eye out for that. But really, let's take a little bit deeper dive now that we've seen the high level overview here. What I want to show you first here is this is our list of VM instances that's running inside my compute engine in Google. But what I want to do is actually show you the capability of how easy it is to migrate a workload to the cloud, and whether that's a planned migration or if it's something, the smoke and crater scenario that I talk about with customers all the time. How do we recover those workloads in the cloud? And while you're rebuilding that on-prem environment, how do you protect that data while it's running in the cloud? And then third piece of that is how do you get your data back down on-prem? And we do that by logging into our on-premise controller here. This happens to be my Boston demo lab. And I'm picking on this virtual machine called HYCU Desk 100. This is just a lightweight Linux desktop that I'm running here. And essentially, we've gone through, we've configured our policies, we've taken a backup. I've actually copied my data up to a Google worm bucket. And now I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this little button here called Spin Up VM to Cloud. And today I've got my choice. I can recover this to Google or to Azure. Our AWS version is actually going to be out within the next few days. But essentially, now that I've configured all of that, all those resources inside of Google, I can now begin to recover that data. So I get to choose my region where I want to actually recover this data to. So I'm scrolling down through my list here. I'm going to find US East 4 because that's closest to me. 4A sounds good. And now what we're doing is we're using the native APIs to go out. We're going to interface with the Google resources, find out what's available inside of that region, and actually make a recommendation on, hey, this is the machine type that's going to best match your workload. So in this instance, I've got a very lightweight machine, so it's just a micro instance here. I'm going to actually target this. I'm going to call this Jeremy so that I remember to delete it later because cloud resources cost money and I don't want to keep running it if I don't need to. But I also get this ability here to now actually even configure my network interfaces. So by default, we're going to give you an ephemeral external address. I don't want that because this is my private data. I don't want anybody accessing it, even by accident. So I go ahead and turn that off. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to tell it this is a Linux environment here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit spin up. So what's going to happen behind the scenes now, while we're looking at this job run, we're actually that Protege data protection as a platform service that you subscribe to is now spinning up a temporary worker VM that's going to be inside of our Google instance here. And within a minute or two here, we'll see this worker VM actually spin up. And what that is doing, it's actually taking the backup data that's stored inside of Google. And here we go. We've got our worker VM stood up. So this worker VM, like I was saying, is now rehydrating your backup data into a VM compatible format for Google. So as soon as that job finishes and that rehydration completes, we're going to see my actual Desk 100 Jeremy VM actually show up here. This machine will get flipped over to that name once it's all converted, and that external IP address will disappear, and we'll be able to then go ahead, connect to that machine, just like it was running on-prem or a new native workload inside of Google. And now we can actually flip over to our Protege instance, and we will see that VM running here inside that instance. And then we can go ahead and protect that with a policy of our choosing. So that's that first part of the process that I talked about. Our either we planned this migration because maybe we knew a hurricane was coming and we just wanted to get our workloads up to the cloud, or maybe this is the smoking crater where the hurricane hit us, we weren't prepared for it, and now we need to recover those workloads in the cloud. And because of the way HYCU manages your data, we're actually able to recover that data without having to have a centralized database or repository. So we can help you even recover this data inside of the cloud if it wasn't originally in the cloud. And now we're protecting those workloads in the cloud. And now we flash forward a couple weeks here. We've rebuilt our on-prem interface, and we're ready to shift that workload back down onto the on-premise controllers. So we go back to our brand new on-premise controller here, and we simply reverse that process. We do a spin up VM from the cloud, and we reverse that process that we just performed, and now we're doing that planned migration of the data back down to our new on-premise interface. So that is, at a very high level, how HYCU can help you protect that data, not only in your on-prem environment, but also in the public clouds as well. And like I mentioned, you can go ahead and go to the marketplace of your choice today, go ahead and sign up for that trial and actually begin using it and testing it. I'm sure my contact information is on here somewhere. You can get a hold of me. Always happy to help you out if you want some help getting that set up as well. Feel free to reach out to myself or anybody at the HYCU team, and we can certainly help you there. All right.
Awesome.
Chris, anything I may not have covered, or we
Yeah,
want to go
no,
into more
that's
detail on?
no, I appreciate that. I'm gonna grab the slide real quick. So, this is one of the questions that came in, very apropos, is where can I try it out, right? So we were prepared for you. So, uh, tryhaiku.com. If you're on the enterprise customer, if you're an enterprise cloud user and want to try the full Protege suite to leverage many of the things Jeremy just walked you through. So thanks, Jeremy, for that. So go to that website and sign up for a free trial to try out the full breadth of the solution for any of the public clouds and such. So look forward to that. There is if you didn't already know, there's a question mark on your, I think, right panel. So if you didn't already know that, so submit some questions in there. We're happy to address some of them. There's another one in there, talks about key features you'd want to highlight. And I think, Jeremy, I think you touched on that copy feature. Want to touch a little bit more on that as one of your favorite features? Or
Yeah,
something, or another feature, but I heard you call that one out.
yeah, copy is one of my favorite. I really love that ability to protect your data while it's on-prem, but be able to get that data off-site. And that's really the model that we talk about a lot. And it's pretty well industry standard. The 3-2-1, 3 copies of your data in 2 different locations, one being off-site, and that's how HYCU can really help fulfill that model of protecting your data, anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any so there's another one in here about any interesting recent customer stories that kind of bring home what you kind of talked about today.
Yeah,
Protecting the names of the innocents, of course, but
yeah, we talked with folks who've been impacted by ransomware pretty frequently, and we had one individual reach out to us a couple weeks ago, and he said, "Hey, my hypervisor's been kind of compromised here. I can't get into details, and well, okay, well, how can we help you out?" And there were a number of VMs that were critical to his business that had for a couple of different reasons not been completely compromised, and we jumped on a call with them very quickly and was able to actually set up the on-prem piece of HYCU in under an hour. Is generally what we tell people anyways, but we did this in under an hour, and he went and signed up for a cloud storage account, and we were actually literally protecting his VMs within about an hour and 10 minutes. He was copying these VMs up to the cloud and protecting the data that was still available to him. So I think it's just a key point of how HYCU can really be leveraged to protect that data. Unfortunately, we couldn't help him with the with the impacted data. But going forward now, he's got his environment recovered. He's got HYCU in place, and now we've helped him get set up so that he's writing his data out to an immutable target, and he's got some extra detection in place to hopefully lessen the impact from any future events that might happen.
Yeah, that's great. So there's another question in the questions form. If the backup is already being copied to a bucket, how long will it take to do that spin up to cloud for maybe a terabyte of data?
Yeah,
Question.
so it's a great question. That's one of the remember, I'm an engineer, so it's all it depends kind of answer. So it all is going to depend on uh, where that data is living inside of Google today. Is it a hot tier of storage? Um, are we copying the data into the same region? So if you're going to go cross region to do restores for some reason, obviously that's going to add into to the amount of time that it takes. Depending on the size of the data, that terabyte. I hate to put a number to
Yeah,
it, but that
it's a
terabytes, gonna take probably somewhere around an hour to to
yeah.
to uh, to recover.
It's that trade-off, right? Do you want it close by so
Mhm.
it's faster, but maybe, more chance of risk of being impacted by the hurricane, New
Right.
York and Boston, right? You can get, you're geographically distributed, but you're in could get hit by the same hurricane, or do you get more protection by going out from Boston to California, but yet you have to traverse that network and it would take longer, right? So
Right.
yeah, so there's that it depends. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So that was the last question in there. Give it another second if anybody wants to post in any additional questions. Other than that, we can wrap up, give you a couple minutes, a few minutes back. Hope you enjoyed the demo. Please, go to that link if you want to try the full Protege suite. There's still attachments again in the attachments, they'll paperclip so that you can download those assets and read them at your leisure. Once again, thanks everybody for joining us today, taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with us. We truly appreciate it. Again, thanks for your continued business and kind of looking forward to continuing on the journey with you. So thanks, Jeremy, for joining today and giving that awesome demo. And yeah, I'll end the webinar now. So everybody have a great rest of their day.